Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, ciBemba. Elias Munshya here on TVBAKWETU. Thank you for joining us. The only thing that I would ask and want to request to each one of you is to share the link. Let's have a discussion today, this late night at about 22 hours ciBemba time or 10 p.m. I am in Zambia. And so this has been a very exciting week so far. So today I have done exactly 7 days. Today's Sunday. I arrived on Sunday last week. And so thank you very much for joining us. For those that need to share, please do so. Send us stars, invite somebody to like TVBAKWETU and everyone else. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am going to be very, very clear on some things that we need to talk about, okay? I was on 2 media platforms last week. I was on Diamond TV with Andrew Mwansa, and our topic then was various things that are happening in the nation. Some of you were not too happy with the answers I was giving, but I was just trying to be honest. And then I was also on Radio Phoenix on Let the People Talk. I think that was Tuesday last week. Yeah, and so I enjoyed those 2 shows. But a lot has happened during this week, and so I would like to address some of them. And one of them is, we must deal with this, amapinda insoselo ciBemba. Okay? Amapinda insoselo ciBemba. So I want to get what you think. First of all, do you have ideas about some of the Bemba proverbs? Okay? If you do, please type it in and let's have a conversation over them. It's important. So I came with the this thing that had happened, that one of the Patriotic Front leaders had been arrested for defamation of the president and proposing violence. So apparently this gentleman has been proposing violence and has also been charged with defamation of the president. Now, I shouldn't go into the nitty-gritties of the charge, because it's now a police case, and they are going to go to the judges now, and the judges have got to make a decision. I personally do not see that this gentleman is actually going to stand a trial for this charge. I don't see it, but it's in court and it's before a judge, so I don't know how it will be handled. I don't see, such cases usually do not go very far, because there is always that fine line between when a person uses a Bemba idiom, do they actually mean to insult or not? So I don't know from the past. But usually when you direct insults directed at the president, will land you into trouble. You shouldn't be insulting the president. We were very reluctant also, even during the Lungu reign, we were very categorical that we shouldn't be insulting Lungu, because the presidency is like the national parental figure kind of, and so you can still say that the president tabalete ekabwino, you can say that, but ngawalanda chatire chove, you are on your own. The law is going to visit you. Nevertheless, it has brought this long debate about idioms and proverbs. Insoselo ciBemba. So it has brought all this. So I'll be reading some of your comments so that we can have a little bit of fun regarding insoselo ciBemba. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to be reading some of it so that we see where we can discuss. All right. And so here is a misunderstanding. One of the misunderstandings is that when an insult becomes an idiom, then it ceases to be an insult. That is not true. As a matter of fact, Bemba idioms themselves are premised on shock. So when, for example, there is a proverb that says, "Akanyo kamwa nakatombwa neloba," that is still shocking. It's an insult, right? It's describing a human woman anatomy. So that would be shocking and everything else. And yet it is using that shock to explain a wider story, meaning do not abuse children, meaning do not do things that are outside your league, meaning do not abuse or do not be corrupt. That is what that idiom means. But it is still an insult. In other words, it has used human anatomy terms that we do not usually routinely use in our conversation. And so it is the impact of the shock that teaches a lesson. But the impact of that shock when it comes, like I did, you know what I mean? I say a Bemba proverb, and all of you are falling off your chairs. And it's true. It's a vulgar language. It's an anatomy. And so it's shocking. And so once it shocks you, then it delivers a lesson. That is what an idiom is. But you cannot say that the word is therefore not vulgar. An idiom does not cleanse a vulgar terminology. It doesn't. In fact, it preys on the vulgarity of the saying itself to teach a lesson. And so, if you are just a politician and you are trying to use an idiom in order to shock and teach, you better stand by it. You know what I mean? You cannot say that you're only interested in the meaning, but you're not interested in the literal words. No. And so if you use a word that insults the president, know that it is a criminal offense. That's simple common sense. It's still a criminal offense. So the fact that it is an idiom does not cleanse an insult. If at all, it is a criminal offense to defame a president. That is what it is. So when Bembas are trying to say that no, this is not an insult or anything, it is. That is why the sayings have this status among the Bemba speaking peoples. All right, and so yes, it is. And so you must stand by it. Techulanda tiyo mkwainsha tukene, atiyo mkwainsha tukene na lefu afyo kufunda. No, wabomfishe olusele, ukweba tufunde. Wabomfishe an idiom, a Bemba idiom. Yakwata, a vulgar term, in order for you to teach. You stand by it. Na mwansaka pwepwe wine, irio alelanda emilumbe nensoselo sha ciBemba, using these things in politics. It was vulgar. That's what it is. So on the vulgarity, because it is part of the Bemba tradition. And then of course there is this debate about are these sayings just for Ababemba Nkonko or the entire Bemba Commonwealth? These are sayings of the entire Bemba Commonwealth. Tema sayings Ababemba Nkonko beka. No. Ababemba Nkonko tebe neba ciBemba beka yo. IciBemba cha mitundu shonse ishibomfye ciBemba. Luva immigrants na ababululu wabo abalunda kazembe bonse echitundu chesu ifofweba ushi na ifwebene. When you are classifying the Ushi language, it is a subset of the Bemba language. Abenama linguists, when they are classifying the languages, the sayings of the Bembas insoselo sha ciBemba na ifwebene ni insoselo shesu. So I'm hearing okwebati bamo Ababemba Nkonko baletwebo okubati yo imomweba ushi ayama sayings yesu, you have no business with them. De musoka imomweba Bemba Nkonko okwebati ulande yo inkondo. And the sayings of each are our sayings as well. We own them. They are ours. Okay? So mwababemba Nkonko muichindike sana ngala kutira kuliko bamwababemba Nkonko abashirefwayo kuichindika mufure mwaichindika extremely. because and we need to face this reality. For those that do not understand, the bickering among the Bemba speaking peoples in Zambia is there is this bickering, of course. And in fact, Simon Mwansaka himself is rumored to have insulted Amalwa Pulans, Atimova Tubulu, and stuff like that. And that insult was very serious during the struggle to independence, because Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe is believed to have been one of the most vulgar politician, and some regard him to be tribalist. Even now, he was tribalist against other Bemba-speaking tribes as well. Okay, but we need to understand that this is ours. This is our language, and we accept responsibility for its vulgarity. So if anybody uses it, they need to also take responsibility for its vulgarity. Our sayings, those sayings that are vulgar, are ours, and they do not cease to be vulgar. And so if you use it against the president, and it's an offense, a criminal offense to insult the president, then yes. If we are advocating for reform of the law, then that's a different matter altogether, so that we remove criminal defamation laws from our statute books, yes. But you want to express an idea, you must stand by it. Nomba yo watu kana waiba kateka tateka matakopanshi ero nomba bakwikata ero wakana tiyo mkwai temo na alo seshe ala ngani muisa walo seshe atiyo mkwai ni insoselo fye yo mkwai ten insoselo fye yo insoselo ilebo mfya vulgar language ulusele to express something. Nomba ukane, you are picking and choosing, you are only choosing the meaning, leaving the substance of what the saying has said. No. Saying, I stand by it. I stand by it. I did not mean to say what I say. I said it, and it's part of our language and stuff like that. The other thing about Bemba sayings is vulgarity among Bemba speaking peoples is used as a praise, right? It's used as a praise. So the Chitimukulu, the chief, the king of the Ababemba Nkonko, I also call them Ababemba proper. Ababemba Nkonko, the Chitimukulu. Praising him, actually, one of the things when you are praising him, you use vulgar language. Now, it's in its context, it is praise. Now, I will not go into detail of what those words are, but they are very, very vulgar. And so it becomes one of the praises, in fact, one of the titles, the Chitimkulu. As Ushi is also our chiefs. When you're praising the chief, there's some vulgar languages, exaggeration of their, for example, their fertility. The fact that they are fimo across the Chambishi, abasuma bonse babuka ababi babunda. That's a praise to the Chitimukulu. Now, if we're quite the different ones in Wapula, Mwata Kazembe as well. Okowatinga sonta obwamba kukabanga aba kukasuba bonse bachashani baimita. That's a praise. That's in its context. You are using a very vulgar term, something that is not used in everyday language. Uwatontele uwamba kukabanga. Meaning, atonto wamboku batabadioku baimita. You are praising a chief's fertility. You are creating this myth that this king or this chief has fertility. That's tradition. But when you can't go and tell a chief at Tekama Takopanshi, that's an insult. It's not a praise. Right? So all these are some of the nuances that need to be there. But the lesson is, if you use it, stand by it. You can't pick and choose. So we're going to see how the judges are going to look at it. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. But we are very happy that this has renewed the interest in our sayings. If we're Bemba, if we're Mitundu ciBemba. We're very excited. But at least some of our sayings that teach. Ayafunda, if you can call sana. They are back on national dialogue right now, and we are happy for it. Okay, but let's continue using them. I use them a lot myself. I like them. People, lawyer, international lawyer, and then broadcaster on TV. So mfiro kuichindika no kubomfia ma sayings ya moya mchinji, but sometimes the kala pusumuka na bomfia yako kamo ngefe na chibomfia kali akambika saying ako na chilanda. That teaches against abuse of little children and teaches some truth, teaches some truth, some very, very important and necessary truths. And so we stand by them. So nomba kanshi particularly abena chipata that wants to be using ciBemba for their own selfish ends. We are kindly appealing kubena chipata bonse to resort to your own idioms na imomo alikwata ma idioms eyo mulelanda not to kuisa muku tupanga ichongo with our idioms no kubiachita misunderstand no ku no kututuka using ama idioms ya ciBemba. That one we need to be very clear about it. And so let's see what are you saying about the idioms. Someone here Mpundu SMS mapinda atumwana ekadishanganya. Yeah, that's good. Ukuma kaputi kuchulu muniena pebwe tabula kubweke shapo ukuikala no wamatakwa yakulu akakupoke chipuna munshebo aire na mashinsha kubuko umutombwa tomyakulu. I don't know, some people are saying it's tomyakulu, but it's temyakulu. Umutombwa temyakulu. Anyway, that's our tradition, and those are our sayings. We stand by them. They are strange, they are vulgar, they are insults, but they are part of our culture, right? They are cultural sayings, and we hope that the new generation of Zambians and you're going to be proud of your language, of your tribes, of your sayings, of the insoselo shamtundueno. You're going to be proud of them and use them to teach and express some truths. I hope so. We are not going to abandon them. We are going to do them. Now, of course, if it's just about the Bemba proper, no, it's not just about the Bemba proper or Bemba Nkonko. It's for all of us, you know. Bantu ifwe ushi no Bemba nifwe ne bwesu nifwe tuwatangireko tuwabuka luwapula elo nomba bambia baisa konkapo kanshi nifwe bene fweka. Even the culture itself, like the Bemba popular culture. Bemba popular culture, isn't it Luapula? Of course it is. Luapula is the one that produced the greatest Bemba musicians. So when you look at the culture itself, Bemba popular culture, it's Luapula. Now, I'm just responding to some Bemba Nkonkos who commented useless things today. Imwanza muri innocent ba no fie ebonde kalipira ngo atubareke imisango shako akapwepwe imisango shako akapwepwe. Anyway, yeah, okay, so those are some of the comments. I'm just reading some of the comments here from you. Keshas, my nephew, saying there are some idioms, proverbs that one can't use to address elders. Some Bemba idioms are just too heavy. Yeah, no, you can't use some idioms. For peers, yes, I think for peers you can say whatever you have to say, but you can't go. Pachintu wingi kubantu rombo watampa kutukana. By one we ngore for kutukana, nishure for kutukana landa fie, Don't use the pretext of idioms. Koleva vyo kutukana, sometimes. Wakwata fika pantu abantu bamwe bali kwate chiraka cha kutukana. Alefu afyo kutukana. Ngolefu kutukana. Well and good. Tukana fi. Landavya tule tukana. Ukuchiro kwanda dida watukana tiyo mkwai malumbo. No, malumbo kwi. Nivanyule lumba. Ninsere. My father's mother was Chief Mubanga's daughter, and my mother's mother was from Makasa. I know Bemba in and out. What Nagachinda did was taboo and perverse. Yeah. But of course, there is this pull and, pick and pull regarding tradition. Because customs and traditions are contested, right? The very nature of tradition itself, it's contested space. And there is always this argument of whether a particular tradition is being applied in the correct way or not. Even to date, even to date, even among Nangfekumushukwine, there is always that contested debates about what tradition means. And so we need to be open about that. And Victor is probably right that what he did was taboo and perverse. But the thing is, he needs to be courageous. If what he meant was really to express shock, then you must stand by it. That's what we are saying. If you decide to use a Bemba idiom to express shock and teach through shock, then you better be courageous enough to stand by it. That's what we are saying against this gentleman. This gentleman cannot pick and choose at I did not mean it. No, you meant it. Can you stand by it? Be courageous. If you have the courage to utter a Bemba idiom, you better have the courage for the consequences that follow. That is the whole essence of the vulgar and strong language that is itself buried in Bemba idioms. You can't like the message without the medium which is vulgar itself. Nagachinda went too far okusamwa kwawama. PF did many rubbish things. Yeah, I think PF did a lot of rubbish things, and I think it is in the best interest of the country to look on their record. And we always say it here. We've got to look at their record, at the record of the Patriotic Front, which is an extremely terrible record. It's a reckless record. Kanshi binoculars yabanagachinda beyibomfya mukuchita abuse insoselo sha ciBemba iyo. Baye mukuberenga kofimbi finga bafuirisha to give us the money back that the Patriotic Front stole from the people of Zambia. Can you talk about Given Lubindasabi for allegedly using his office? Yeah. Now, the people of Zambia need to know this. The Patriotic Front party is a criminal enterprise. It was a mafioso organization. This gentleman did not have the interest of the Zambians at heart at all. Now, when we are using at criminal enterprise, it sounds very, very lofty. Criminal enterprise, you know what I mean? It sounds very criminal enterprise. They were thieves. Bari ni wakabwalala. Bari ni mpupu. Abango. Little thieves. That's what they were. That's what they are. All of you that are asking, Mule Papa no Papa. So this news about what they have done with what he wanted to do with Zesco is not news to me. No, that is embedded in the very nature of the Patriotic Front. Obungo, mismanagement and theft. Fiaba inside the Kanshinga Mwabula Patriotic Front. Elo mwaya bapima DNA. Patriotic Front. Mwalasa ngokwe bati mu DNA yaba Patriotic Front. Tamwasangemo bampundu iyo. Temwasangemo abadi bonsa bena ndola nangwa bena peta okay. No. You are going to get and what you're going to find is thieves, corruption, and complete mismanagement of the country. That is why the people of Zambia decided to change government in August. And we are being asked, should we not move on? Yes, of course we are going to move on. And we are moving on because the UPND has transitioned from opposition to ruling. The United Party for National Development. This is the Hichilema Nalumango administration from 2021 to 2026. Erona 2026 mwini abena Zambia ine mukuchimona kwandi bakavotera ababena abarete bakabavotera nakaidi. And so this is what is happening. It's the UPND government ebarete chalo. And we are very, very happy and excited that it is the UPND government in power. But we're being asked, should we not move on, even here on TVBAKWETU? Why should you be talking about these things? The reason why we continue talking about these things is that, first of all, the Patriotic Front, they want to continue spreading lies, even after they lose an election. Embarrassed from the theft and mismanagement of the past 10 years. No, they're trying to stand on the hilltops and tell the entire nation that they were saints and what they did was good. They have never rendered an apology to the people of Zambia, never. They've never come to you, the people of Zambia, in their sincerity, they've never done that. They've never come to tell and express their sincere regret for the way they mismanagement and stole from you, the people of They've not come to tell you that. And yet today they are trying to say that they have a better program, they can govern this nation properly. How can they do that? No, Zambia, I don't want you to think no. No, just look at it from an independent perspective. And today they are coming back and saying, no, they have a better program. They don't have a better program. If they had a better program, they were going to apologize to the people of Zambia. One. Secondly, if they had a better program, they were going to help President Haga in the Hitch level find the money that they've stashed off and buried inside their bedrooms. Impia. Bari shike mpia muma bedrooms yabo mwebo bari bule mpia bashika. They were going to help us find that money so that it can go to help our poor people. They were going to do that. But no, they've continued in their arrogance and they've continued insulting the intelligence of the Zambian people. That is why we cannot move on, because there is still more work to be done. The UPND government is trying. They're trying because look at the prices of fuel and the subsidies. The UPND government has not said that that money that they've removed the subsidy has disappeared. No, 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 no. They have taken that money and they have hired new teachers, new health workers, paid farmers, food reserve agents, farmers, all paid. They are paying retirees money. In other words, they have taken that money and they have repurposed it into sectors that help the people of Zambia. Number of Patriotic Front, balefwayo kubwera pakweba tibakakonkanye pokwiba. That's it. I'm telling you. People that are never sorry. People that are not helping us to bring back the money that they have stolen. They're even lying, for example, about the IMF, International Monetary Fund. And in my media appearances right here in Zambia, I have tried to explain what this International Monetary Fund IMF issue is. Ilyo ba Patriotic Front bakongwele mpia baiba impia shingisho bakongwele kuma Chinese badiba. I said it during campaigns nalabweke shapona lero lini. Instead yakwe bati bakule emisebo isha chine baire pange emisebo isha madongo. Emisebo isha kwe bati babula fie umusebo babika pueloba babika po fi balance. Elo nomba babika po manene kela. Bapenta napo baitati musebo. Kanshinfulanga yalo kafe panono umusebo watampo kutulaika. The change they siphoned from the people of Zambia. They stole it. When they accrued this huge debt, they failed to pay the debt. Right now, Eurobond, it's been owing for several months. They failed to pay it. Elo nomba bai lekuliva IMF, International Monetary Fund, baba pere kwa kanono. It's not President Hakainde Hichilema who made this first move to the IMF. No, it was the Patriotic Front. That is what they were trying to do. Okay, so then they went to the IMF. Elo IMF yaideve pusha. I want you to get this. The IMF asked the Patriotic Front to say, okay, you have come here asking for $1.4 billion. Shanshi. This is important. In other words, why do you want this money? Vevere no, imwe ba IMF tamufuiro kutuipusha iyo tupere ni fiolo pia. Ba IMF vevere aleni bani atina atupia as a nation. Elo ba IMF baile ipusha ba Patriotic Front kwe bati imwe mulena ndatinamo pia. But if you tule moneni tungulu shisheno, they are living very lavish lifestyles. Tule mona Bowman Lusambo with 2 million ale folesha. Shiref makui. Tulemo na lungu no munankwe Clement Tembo candidate wabo wakukabwata kabwarala na balonge mpia ine Zambia Air Force plane elobaya mukwakanya kumongo IMF yebere aleni bane twebene te tumipere 1.4 billion panto imwe tamwa kwata discipline yo ishimpia mwaire kongola kuma Chinese mwa kongwere fe palweno kuma Eurobonds mwakongwere fe palweno tatulemo nokwe bati imwe as leaders you are serious bebere no tulefu afyo mutupere epo ama negotiations yachitire store popene bamba nokube pati IMF has conditions. Which conditions? Imwe ngana mkwata 1.4 billion ati mukongweshe chalo kuti mwaya kongwesha Bowman Lusambo ndefo yamunjebe Pantu emufi barebe pati ba Bowman Lusambo ba Shimpundu DNA bale muvepo kwe bati yo mkwai if you, the biggest problem that we have is IMF. No, the biggest problem we have and we had was abena Bowman aba kwe bati ifintu umuntu takwata business nokusambirira tasambirira tabomba ponenchito overnight 2 billion kwacha mumpia sha kwa chirubesha chini noti shisha kwa satesha 1 million 2 billion wafumia pi. It's a very simple question and very wafumia pi shafuma kuisa. As you Zambians were asking that question naba IMF bene ema question bale bepusha ba Zambia ukobati imwe mulera ndati chalo na chipia nga balungu na Bowman Lusambo impie shibale kaika isho bashi kakakasa kakandalama kafu mapi ne hii ne 1.4 billion mule ipusha mukeba apo pende balera ndata ma conditions elio nomba ilio bahichile mabaishitepo babwekeramo bebere no the situation is pretty bad ngata mutupere kwa kaka nono ngafilifini ba Patriotic Front nabo bene chadi te solve bwino tuma problems ichalo chikwete baemfebele okay leni twebele mwala ashibomfye shani mpia elo nomba babika patebu efe waka shibomfye mpia bahichile na ba honorable minister of finance babeba baemefukwe bati program ife tukabomfye mpia nifi one ishimpia nga mwatu pera shikatuwafuirisha kopako bati tukachite service ama loans ya Eurobond ayo abena Boman Lusambo na baauza sampa na ba Patriotic Front baide kongola shabunda nga mwatupera 1.4 billion ikatuwafuirishako ukuingisha ama teachers inchito 30,000 nga mwatupera 1.4 billion dollars ikatuwafuirishako ukushitemi timu fipatala pantu abantu bafua notu mulandu wakwe malwere bafuwa mulandu wakwe bati ba Patriotic Front bashitire imitishi yabo nombalelo Boman Lusambo sure ese mukumweba imumwebe na Zambia ukweba ti IMF problem ilipo iyobane ubuwafya bulipo ni Boman Lusambo naba nankwe abaya lwishe chalo echuma cha chalo kwana kalimo kuchita shani ukuiba Boman ndi mundu saka Boman ukuiba Boman Lusambo is a thief ukuiba aibira imwe mwebe na Zambia Boman Lusambo naba nankwe ba Patriotic Front uchita mwa mwene ama kada umuntu feni kada isukulu nenchi totafyachi ndeme yo elo nomba bambo kulabe peshati yomkwai it's the IMF. It's not the IMF. Abena Boman na ba Patriotic Front ngatabai biliolo pia inonshita ngatuliuku tarisana katuliuku tarichi peshe amano nabana b'amasukulu ababare kongwesha kwa kanono ati school ngabari lipira kaleba hichilema nombefya tuwesha panuma wungo wa Patriotic Front no bufino mbobo barebe parelo. And you're telling us to move on. How can we move on? And if you don't challenge them, they'll continue lying and they are going to continue subjecting the future of this nation to lies and mismanagement. We said no in 2021. This is 2022. We are going to say no. Alawafia. Now, what about Bill 10? Enena mwena chidi ya shida Bill ya chita shani liapwa. Namba mwamu na mwebe na Zambia. Ebo afya bulipo. Pantu kulabati ukulabako. We forget very, very easily. Here's the thing. The Honorable Haimbe is talking about constitutional reforms. Our constitution needs reform. Inena diipelesha. Eba Haimbe inena diipelesha. Kanshi mweba Haimbe konsoko muli mwishi boko bati na diipelesha. Tualikwata ko bwafya mutuma provisions to mu constitution, and what we need is to have consensus as a people of Zambia so that tusheshani to solve the kaka problem. Nomba ba Patriotic Front na ba konkani hapo bofi na mwishiba. What we need is to have very sober minds. Tumfuane. They should not hold on to the anger and disappointment of Bill 10. They lost terribly on Bill 10. Very, very terribly. So what we need to appeal to independent MPs, to Patriotic Front MPs, to let reason and value for the country be paramount so that we reform our constitution. They agree, the Patriotic Front agrees that the Bill 10 was a disaster. Let me remind you, our people, the Patriotic Front itself knew that Bill 10 was a disaster. The only disagreement, as far as Bill 10 was concerned, was this. There was consensus that Bill 10 was bad. The only thing that the Patriotic Front wanted to lie to the people of Zambia was pass it by second reading. And then after second reading, we will change it. That's what they were saying if you heard them. They were not saying that the provisions in Bill 10 were good. No, they rejected it. Oyuwine Nagachinda binoculars, his committee looked at Bill 10 and rejected 95% of Bill 10's provisions. The only difference was they said, trust us, once you give it to us at second reading, we are going to change it. That's where we said, that can't be. You cannot bring a bill. You reject the bill. You know the bill is a problem. Elo mwalando kowati, let it go to second reading. Elo tukachinje after second reading. We said no. We rallied our people. We explained to you, the people of Zambia, what that meant. And the opposition UPND stood strong and resisted it. Now that we have a chance, let us work on this document, on this constitution together. Let us put partisanship aside. If you brought just Bill 10 the way it was today, the PF itself are not going to support it. That tells you how bad that document was, how evil that document was. They are not going to support it. I mean, PF, okay, PF Munchebeko, ba Brian Mundubire ba lawyer, ba lawyer ba Brian Mundubire, aleni tata tueveni. If Honorable Haimbe tomorrow brings Bill 10 in the form in which you left it, are you going to support it? They won't. They won't. And so what is needed is for the Patriotic Front to be reasonable, negotiate with the UPND. I don't know the formalities, whether they are going to create a new Constitutional Review Commission or it will be a technical committee that looks into this document. But whatever it is, Parliament, for once, need to come together and agree. Leave behind all the shenanigans in order to do something big and beautiful for our country. We can do it as a nation. But the continued lies today about Bill 10 is completely intolerable. Again, the Patriotic Front itself rejected this bill. But if I go to Shinga Bata, I think if it pass second reading, then they change it. It was going to be a disaster because they were still going to implement the same thing. All these things they're saying at your Bill 10 would have solved this problem in Kabwata or something like that. It's all lies. It had nothing to do with the by-election in Kabwata. They've continued to perpetrate this lie. Anyway, PF bonsekanshi Brian Mundubile na bambia ma PF MPs, please. Mutontonka niepo, you know, just be reasonable. Mutontonka niepo, you know, to chite something, you know, let's come together for once, please. Tuarishwa, the PF is a criminal organization, but it's still a political party of consequence in our country. So tuami zembaika, ayin. Tuleko kumita a criminal organization, ayin. Sometimes calling you criminal organization, so you are not going to cooperate with us. But not to clean up constitution, you know. And the indications we are receiving from the UPND is that they are going to take very reasonable steps to clean it up a little bit, you know. As PF supposed to work on. Number, you became a little bit distracted. Just like every human being gets distracted in more and more. Instead, you have to focus, but fin to feed the ulero de shadow. Kuti aka pita waro disha, katenge waro disha, ka waro disha. Instead, you have to pakatenge kamo wambo kolore shadow to tenge. Distraction. So we understand. That's very, very regrettable. All right. We have a few minutes now. I'm going to bring Mukelabai, who's always got something to say. Mukelabai, are you there?
Shaniwa Munshya, bueno, tulifia bueno.
I'm quiet. Mapanza Nkwilimba, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Bomusha.
Ikulilia lyansoselo sha ciBemba. Insoselo sha ciBemba. Lanashileta akantu. 1, 2, IMF. 3, Bioten. Alen. Womkela bai.
Nakachinda mutundunshi. Elo ipusho ninge pusha first.
Why? Why should that be relevant?
No, therefore kwipusha because nga umutundu te wove. Tetu ambo kuchita practice mutundu wavene. And tawaishi vama details on who should be directed. Who's your idiom wabo mfeshe. If we actually directed kuli nani, kuli vena nani, which kind of people? Kutuwa ebo mwana, you mean I can allow my children to come and tell me, say, Daddy, take ni kwa matakopansha patulanshan, and therefore ko ndalamanche shite kwa sweets. Awe nakachinda kibwanganu bwani. It's I'm calling him bwanganu that because afwirale tontonkanya. And you can tell that these chaps, they are still upset and they are trying to revenge. And they are enjoying this freedom that they have been given. You know, this new government in place that is in power today has observed the rule of law. And that is why you can't even spend 2 days in police custody, because they are trying to do the right thing better than you guys did. And now, mwamonokutirati aliyamala kuna emwa kwete mu PF ba michila ba UPND, they are doing well, and then you start attacking them and even insulting the Republican president. Mwaya nkata muliba PF mwayekete muvita nawa that he never produced any word pakanwa. He only had a cell phone. Umuntu wa shire pitafe muri video ya kwa nawa. What did you do? How many days did Muvita nawa spend mu police custody? So lelo nakachinda, you have the audacity to come and even start talking and insulting, because there's no doubt you insulted the president. And for that, na iwe wine, uleya muko ya teka matako yo mchimbwa kaira. Just wait, your time is coming. Ukayewa toma malawa hao mchimbwa kaira. And I know the judges and the magistrates, they are watching. And I want them to also set up a very good precedent. When you come up with a judgment and punishment, make sure that you are going to deter most of these children today, or anybody that is going to insult the president, or even aba fiashi wa mayanda that aba na be land, because aba PF bale foku bepa ati iyo idiom it meant tekanyen. You can't tell your parent. Akainde is our parent now. He's the president, Republican president, and he needs to be given all the respect that he deserves. He's the president of all, including Akafumo Kakwa Nakachinda. He's your president. So have respect. Bakapokola na imwebene. What happened? Na ine nala bomfia koka idiom kuli bakapokola. Bakapokola Mzambia. Kampelu. Akampelwa, what happened? Therefore, akampelwa apply to mpelwa kuli such people.
We can't do that, okay? Zambia is a signatory to the international conventions against torture.
It is an idiom. Following the narrative.
Yeah, you know, when we communicate, we also have to consider the environment. When we use a language, you know, Nakachinda is under shock because of the election, the results that the zeros that they were getting and the loss they suffered. So the man is very bitter. So the words that he utters against the president, he should not hide in idioms. He's actually venting his anger and his bitterness because of their loss. So legally, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this case will come out, but as a way of communicating, we also consider the environment, what is happening, and what I see myself is that the guy is really very, very, very bitter. And so the words that he utters, they are meant to injure, not just to say I'm using an idiom. They are meant to injure. That's his aim. So really, socially, what he said is inappropriate.
Yeah. That is definitely agreed, and I always try to appeal to the Patriotic Front to be reasonable. Ukushipa. I don't know how you say it in Lozi, but ukushipa.
Kutia malingongo. That is not another idiom in Lozi that we use. Nga waliva lazy, nga tawakosa. Bakweva utie malingongo. Kukosa mutu safu, mutu nanu, maskonki. I don't know maskonki. Kukosa. Your president Nakachinda, you did a lot of things kuliva Zambia. You have destroyed our country. So it is just fair. It is just fair for you guys to just humble yourselves. Talaleni, ikaleni fie. Na imwebe ni ama member of parliament, mtuma independent, ama member of parliament, mweba uwa surrogates wa PF, talaleni fie, kaleni notupe mwaiva. Stay put. You cannot come here to ambo kushita defend utuntu. Utushire posta kona mano iyo. Tualishi vakale, you can't come and lie to us. And Nakachinda, is it not relevant? Is it reverend or is a pastor? I don't know. One wonders, what kind of morals does this chap have? Huh?
Yeah.
He's a pastor. Now imagine, what example is he giving to the Zambian people? The pastor, honestly, that is shameful and very disrespectful. And he was going to burn in hell. I promise so, because
Anyway, thank you very much, Bomukelabai. Bakwetu journalist 1, also known as Wiseman Dawn. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Comrade Elias Munshya. Good evening to you. Bomkelimba, good evening, sir. Good evening. Bomkelebai. I like
good evening, my brother.
The lousy, how the lousy words are coming out of that mouth. I'm enjoying being Zambian. Good evening to our viewers. I think, Comrade Munshya, for me, when I heard about, first of all, we should, I like the word which you said is a pastor. Being a pastor is not being a good person. Even devil himself was an angel. And being the angel was not perfect for him to prove to God that was a good person. So we have misused this word of a pastor, a man of God. We have misused it. Just that God is a God of mercy. I was not surprised when I heard about Nakachinda ranting and insulting the president, because the party belongs is the party of people without morals. It's the party of Kelenkers. If you remember their virtual rallies, they were having, remember Kanishas Banda, the words he was using on their virtual rally in presence of their former president, opposition president now. Imagine Kanishas Banda. If you talk about umwine wa sushi, bonsabo baba mu same group bali kolongana, so if you walanda ku background katumpuwa ifilanda kanwa when the mouth is speak pindu fili panshi ya mutima wa filo kusunga pyafula ero akanwa kebera walande terera gafe mpiro ngorole zo ati mpemeko. So if ya isula muri ba PF bonse mo ba vela fe bonse if ya isula ninsele that's why stand justify insele wasango ya mlongola shilondro la shite justify kuno wino but ashite convince abantu nomba tuli bakulu ile kubale tubonfya na vena siya wa nokula kusitaso pamenzo twalisuka walipepera bepera ko so nangu abatu Stefia tulo mfuate apapena baruba so bana kachinda ni shitafe time will tell when things will catch up with you. All these PF who are ranting cash that in 4 months when I don't got in 4 years bamusha in 4 months to get much kuna so bapeni ko fya kashya bakaluba bonse bakaluba ni shitafe for me I'm not even worried about it.
Thank you very much. There are by-elections taking place this week. One is in Milenge in Sokontwe ward. For those that care to know, Sokontwe is my chief. Diwakwa Sokontwe. So I'm a subject of Chief Sokontwe. Kumilenge. The district is Milenge, the constituency is Milenge in Wapula. The vice president was there just recently, and I think the minister of health were there to go and deliver health services. Honorable myself. And so we are urging the people of Milenge, God willingly, because I'm already in Lusaka. So to the people of Milenge, make no mistake here. Milenge has the second highest number of UPND councillors right now, after Chiengi. So Chiengi, UPND councillors, followed by Milenge. So the people of Milenge, you have another choice here. So vote for the UPND candidate. I'm going to come with your name, with his name shortly, or maybe tomorrow or something. But vote UPND in Milenge. Kusenanga na kokuine kuli by election, and we are asking the people of Senanga to vote for the UPND. The reason why we want to do this is because Elo imagine Vankwirimba. Milenge is going to receive 25.7 million. So for this money to be utilized properly, it shouldn't be with a councillor from PF, because PF because the party is socialized in corruption. Kuti bachita shireshire misango shamu PF. Teve fine Vankwirimba.
Although really, with the new Dawn government, we are not going to be distributing resources so that it can only be given to people that belong to a particular political party.
Oh,
So,
not quite the by-election Kumidenge. One message. Antu ngamwaranda tiyo mkwa it's okay PF councillor can be. Avena Milenge kutuba vote la PF.
no. I'm not encouraging them to vote for PF. Definitely, the message is that they should vote for UPND. And let me leave it at that, because because really, whether there is a PF councillor or UPND councillor, we need to watch out, because even where we have our own councillors, there may be a tendency to think that is business as usual. We should continue what PF was doing. When you receive resources at a constituency level, we should only give it to those that belong to our party. We need to watch out for what definitely, in as far as voting is concerned, we are encouraging all the people where there are by-elections to vote for UPND, because really, that's the way to go for now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I think we've got to end here, unless if there are any.
No, I just want to talk to my brothers and sisters and my family in Senanga, where they also in laws. Kimanzi bwana sichaba Jesus sichaba bulozi komulutwela kaofela, especially mina basenanga lwa mikupa kuli musike mwalika musike mwapanga mistake ya kuli mutise ba PF mubakutise ape luka shwanitala akunakuzwera amunakuyoivona apezwero piri mwabulozi ape amukatisa ba PF mubone mubalunyandiselize mubone mikwako waluna wakuzwa sesheke kuya Livingstone kapa kuzwa Mongo kuya Lusaka mikwako yaluna isinye hile kono kuti onafo kuti unanili koroti zama 14 25 90 billion kana ki kukava vachwani kukavona hala chwani kuli munge vatu vane baba miuzwelize mubakutise ape mwa parliament akuna zebakayo mitise za vatili amu votele vo UPND vo MP ba UPND kuli batise zwelo pili mutoa mwela ni 25 million 25.7 million kuzwafa 1.7 1.6 kuzwafa 1.6 kutula kutomisa mane kutomifa 25 million. Who does that? Kachekule mumubone mumutali mekuli vatiliyo luvotele usili. Alutali feni, alu apule ni meto, alu vave ni masholiva, luvave mwali tolongo, lua mikupa, luvata number. We need numbers of MPs from the UPND so that they are able to proceed to remove some immunity and put some chaps on the stand so that they are able to respond and escapade themselves.
These are council by-elections. We'll let you speak on that when the Kabwata by-election is held. But these are council by-elections. So Sananga Council, please do the right thing. The president is traveling to Dubai because there is an Expo, Dubai Expo 2020. This week is going to be dedicated on Zambia. And so we expect all of you people in Dubai, please consider Zambia as your investment destination. Lots of opportunities here. We are going to be bringing various people that will be talking about the various investment opportunities that Zambia has. So all of you that are in Dubai, receive our president well together with his team, and this week continue enjoying the hospitality of Zambia, and you are welcome. Mwai said, Mwai ko Zambia. Come and let's do business together. This is your country. Come and invest. As far as the Expo is concerned, thank you very much. There will be several changes that will be coming to our lineup here. The Linda Banks show was going to be debuting tonight, but it won't be, and so we are hoping that it will be debuting tomorrow or shortly afterwards. We are going to have Mr. Nkwilimba, who will be running around the constituencies. In order for him, he's going to be going constituency after constituency to explain what is going on with the 25.7 million. Nkwilimba, can you start with Milenge, please? Then with Milenge constituency. In the history of our village, that were Monapo 25.7 million in the coffers of Milenge. So please start with Milenge.
I will look for someone from Milengi to come and perhaps speak to us and tell us what is happening in Milengi.
Thank you. What were you saying, Wiseman?
Nati ero kuwa tukapabushave na Milenge yo tukamipera mu macoin so that tikese mu magramu mukamunati mpia shemu pakanse shafi.
Yeah. Man, Wiseman. Mwebe kalachalo. In a Wiseman, ampesha. If a Wiseman, erando kwa bati. Evena Milenge. Atama wire transfers. They will not believe it. Atumwena mwati tulivena mushisana. So if a Wiseman areranda, Don Wiseman from the East, ati, this 25.7 million, ikesa in buckets. Nama drums. I am a coins so that you can see the money with your naked eyes. Because sometimes you're not sure. We want cash. So Wiseman, I agree with you. Bankwirimba, do we agree that that's what the minister needs to do, to send cash to?
Yeah, perhaps to shock them to realize that 25.7 million is a lot of money. Because if we are just talking and the money is just passing through the bank, they won't see it at all. So we might as well take wheelbarrows and sacks.
Yeah.
Vakepushe Faith Musonda.
Bavotere UPND kansera swatakasungia wina madiramu ya mpia nga bavotere wa PF akayashita chopa adine businessman kanshabe na mirenge aiba so bavotere wa UPND akasungia macoin yenu bwino.
To use a word, do the right thing. We might see each other, in the coming days, but do the right thing and vote UPND. This has been a presentation of TVBAKWETU. Elias Munshya here, together with our friends Bomo Kilabai, Mesa Nkwilimba, and Bakwetu Journalist 1, also known as Wise Man Don. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless you, and God bless our country.